Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles. With that, let's get up to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. We're standing by for the call are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5 quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
Not only does he look the part, he plays it as well. Tall, prototypical-looking pocket passer with better athletic ability than what people think. Gets outside of the pocket and makes big plays downfield.
Let's go.
The first carry for Josh Adams, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. In on the stop, DeMonte Casey. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Wentz. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The starters defensively now for the Falcons. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers. And last week in that victory, they were pretty good. Probably a pretty easy film set.
After a performance like that, so many people think you just roll into film, take your popcorn, kick back, and enjoy the show because they played well. I can just tell you from experience, after a win is when coaches come down on you harder because they want to emphasize all the mistakes that happen. Because you won, you're in a good mood. They want to bring you back to earth. Oftentimes you walk out of there and you ask your teammate, did we win last week?
So my assumption was wrong. And I think the ball's out. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now a play fake. Wentz. Incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because, to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now Wentz on third down. And this is going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches. I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. Finding room inside the 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Tevin Coleman, 54 yards. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. I think that's the dream start right there. The defense stands up on the opening drive, then they go right down the field and score.
It's a positive start for your offense and your defense. And when you're talking about playoff football, what a great way to get things going.
Everything is magnified and amped up a little bit more.
To put it mildly.
Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would
looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And this one will be brought back to the 22. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacks back at the 29. Mike Bennett in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Down to the 25. Give him 3 yards on the run. Now they'll need to draw up something good here on 3rd and 13.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line. They'll hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Bryant's kick is good. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field, and he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did, but they're still drive after having thrown that interception. They're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some off.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 3rd down, Adams. He's got daylight. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Josh Adams, 46 yards. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on 3rd down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, picked up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice it.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
Here's Coleman on the toss. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. Looking downfield into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Tackle made there by Robert Alford.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here we go. Waiting.
On second down, Adams. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here we go. 20.
On third down, it's Adams. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make it second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Wentz goes underneath for Sproles, and he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here we go. Waiting.
Shotgun now for Wentz. It's brought in by Jeffrey. Well, that's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. Move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Here we go. Waiting.
A carry for Adams. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Here we go. 20.
Wentz going to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
Hang in there now. Set. 20.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. To throw, it's Wentz. And he'll score! Touchdown, Eagles! Carson Wentz, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Here's Coleman. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
He's got Sanu. Ryan to Sanu, good for an Atlanta first down.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
They go play action here on first down and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive. Buck fell into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it, and they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. They've got the lead. They haven't really had to utilize him all that much so far, but I guess if you're winning on the scoreboard, not too much to complain about.
Not at all, but you know those guys out wide. They want as many catches as they can possibly get. They may need him later on if things get a little tighter.
Yeah, so far 2 catches. We'll see what happens here as the game progresses. Throwing is Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Line. Please 5-7.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And Tate's got it. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. On first down, Adams. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. His throw caught right around the 6. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Come on now, let's go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at him with the 6.
And he's in. Blood Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And nothing special there. They showed they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. Here's Ryan to throw, and it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Sanu with a grab over the middle. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Coleman. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Back deep is Darren Sproles. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there at 22.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. He completes it to Tate. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very solid gain of 27. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
To throw is Wentz. He's got his man on the crossing route. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Wentz again. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. From the gun, it's Wentz. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
After the interception, here's Ryan. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, this is the second of 4 games this weekend as we narrow the field down to the 4 teams who will meet in the league championship games next Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other divisional round game in the NFC. And it looks like we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the New Orleans Saints squaring off against the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, in our game, we're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd and long. Ryan. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. Now Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. An Eagle 1st down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL. Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. How about the big snagging one. You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Brandon Graham in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. Throwing on 3rd and long. Ryan throwing deep. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Falcons. Tevin Coleman. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Falcons turned that interception into a touchdown. And that was just a fly route. There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, and it was beautiful to watch because you have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the number one thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed in which you come off the line of scrimmage and maybe start a little bit slower, get him to stop his feet a little bit as a defensive back, and then explode and go, as we saw there.
Now Ryan leading the Falcons up to go for 2.
Back 25.
Now Ryan. That's caught at the 2. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
They'll begin here with Adams. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Now a play fake. Wentz. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he's able to get out to the 32. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Throwing now is Wentz, and that's incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And here now come the Falcons. And if they're going to take it in for another touchdown like they did on their last drive, they're going to have to do it the hard way, starting at the 1.
And boy, is that a difficult position. Obviously, where they are on the field, they have to be careful with the football. But at the same time, they can't be so careful that they can't run their offense as well. Everyone's got to lock in this situation. No mistakes. Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coach would always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Down the numbers. There he goes. He's at the 50, 30, the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Falcons are in for 6. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Bryant now to tack on the extra point. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And again, that second score here in the third quarter. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On the ball.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And all the way to the opposite 49-yard line. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 44 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the Ryan now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. To throw is Ryan. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Coleman now. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds. And then the last says, oh, no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
This is Coleman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Now Ryan on 2nd down. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to get him down, but not before a pretty good run right there. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. On 2nd down, Ryan. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. On 3rd and goal, Ryan. Trying to improvise. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And this one not officially in the bag, but it's looking more and more like you and I are going to be in these same seats next week for a game to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and it's contrary to our meeting with the visitors, wasn't it? Remember when we went over to the hotel before the game, and one of the themes they kept hitting us with was, let's put the pressure on the #1 seed and see if they can handle it. Let's do that. Well, they're the #1 seed for a reason. Best team all year long. They're showing it again in this game.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run again with Clement. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
If he indeed got it, he didn't get it by much. This is a great push up front, but I think the nose of the football does make it over the line to gain. And whoa, that was definitely cutting it close.
Wentz now to throw. Ertz has it left side. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. Powerful running. And this is going to be incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15 he goes. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Into the red zone, Wentz. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. They'll run it now out of the gun. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
A close call here. Did the ball cross the plane? I don't know. From the naked eye, this was tough to tell.
Always difficult when there's such a tangle of bodies around. You're just trying to find the ball and make sure just a portion of it crossed the plane of the goal line.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. On the carry, here's Clement into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. He's going to get it running right. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the post, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. And he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. And they'll run it here. Wiggles free. Room here to run. It's a foot race. 20. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman, 70 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Here's Bryant for the extra point. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll start at the 25. Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. So glancing at these numbers, I think they tell a story of, hey, early on, he got hot, he got their attention. They've been able to hone in on him, shut him down a bit.
He certainly did get their attention, and that's the ultimate compliment for a player, that when you come out in the second half, all of a sudden there's extra.
He's got a man, complete. That goes for a gain of 31. First down now, but that clock rolling. Go. They'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation.
Throw deep, and this is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Golden Tate in the final minute, and the Eagles move back within a couple of the lead.
But they certainly aren't afraid to dial up the long ball, and fans dig the long ball. And they absolutely needed it, and guess what? They got it. How about that?
And now a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up. One more hurdle here. They need the 2-point conversion to, for the moment, stay alive in these playoffs. He's back to throw. And it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. And not the start that he expected. You look at the numbers, though, he's got back here to his elite level.
And I get the sense that the defense game planned a little bit different than what he expected. You know, he had an idea from watching tape what he should expect. They changed things up on him a little bit and caused that slow start. But the best ones, they take it as a challenge, and they come fighting back. And that's exactly what we saw there.
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Here's Ryan. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Haven't heard much from him all night, but welcome to the party, making his presence felt in a big way.
They've kept him under wraps all night long, but boy, did he find a great time to bust out.
And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So it's all up to the other Matty Ice, Matt Bryant now. This would put them in the NFC title game. And this one is right down Broadway. And the Falcons are going to win the game. Well, one side moves on, and then, of course, there's the other side. And now they face what they don't want to face, and that's the offseason.
Think about the journey just getting to this game. Preseason, right? The OTAs and mini camps before that. Going through the regular season, fighting and scratching and clawing to make it to the playoffs. And then to get to this game, one game short of a conference championship, they'll have the whole offseason to think of.